Hi, everyone. We are out here outside. We are going to do a podcast out here because it's so beautiful. I'm with my friend Rose, and we are in beautiful Sarasota. So,
yeah.
I don't know where to begin.
I guess let's start here. So how did this podcast come about? Let's tell that. So I think that's an interesting story.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do one for a couple of years now. I see them online. I listen to them on YouTube or on like podcast stations, and I think they're just so nice. I think we can learn a lot from conversations, and sometimes it's just hard to talk about something in the short attention span time frame of everything that's going on nowadays, like content wise.
I know
everything's short attention span. I think people crave more depth, and I think you can find that in long, meaningful conversations, or just doesn't have to be long. It could just be like that little nugget just comes out during the conversation. And I think that's amazing. I think we can learn a lot from each other. I think our differences are where we can learn the most from. And yeah, I think conversation's pretty healing, so.
And like zooming in a little bit, we were just getting coffee today.
Yes, we're caffeinated.
The most important part. It's the most important part of the day when you're getting caffeinated.
Yes.
And so we've been, in the same circles for years now.
We totally
and have really been I know I've been a huge fan of your work, and have had a lot of crossovers, but we don't really know each other well.
It's hard to sometimes when there's so much going on, it's hard to lock in. I work well like this one-on-one when there's not a bunch of distraction. I think we can, because I'm please don't give me surface conversations. I'm like, let's talk about our traumas. Let's go. Let's just in the best way, of course.
When did it all go wrong for you, Kat?
Well, when you realize you have to go to the workforce, right? And your childhood's over, but you want your freedom. So there's something, there as a reward. There's a great reward for working, but I never knew what work could be. There's so many things to do in the world. How do you choose what to do? So at the end of the day, do what you love, I feel, and the money will come. And I started doing that. I started doing what I love, which is art, which is collaborating, and I think capturing a photo and having that memory to access whenever you want. Memories fade. It's a fact. Alzheimer's on the rise. We also can live longer. Our message can live on. Let's say you die, which we all will.
I don't have any plans.
You might have great grandchildren who can actually get to know you through your work, through something you shared, through something you've posted online, like a YouTube video. And did you say you want a YouTube video? Is that something someone else? You are starting a YouTube video, aren't you?
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do YouTube.
Yes, you should.
Yeah, I think I was just really curious. You're talking about legacy and story.
Yes.
And that's what I was so curious, was to hear a little bit of your story and to share a little bit of my story.
Yes.
And
let's do that.
And I was so excited to meet with you today. And then this morning, you're sending me these voice notes of oh my God, I'm on the beach, there's fog, it's gorgeous, I just need 5 more minutes. And
I did.
I could hear the creative passion in your voice. And that's what got us started on this thing about capitalism, right? Because I was I'm an artist.
Yes.
And I paint, and that practice is so life-giving for me. And hearing that passion in your voice this morning, it just it made me yearn for that creative practice, because I told you this morning, I'm just trying to survive capitalism. I haven't been painting.
Amazing.
And I think that's such a real struggle for so many artists, is that we're just trying to survive and make ends meet. And how do we find that joy in creating, and also make it something that's sustainable for our lives?
Well, I think as many artists, we focus on the work, we focus on the creativity, but then I'm not saying you don't, I don't know you enough, but some people, artists, they focus on the creativity part, and then they forget or don't know how to do the business part.
Right.
Or nowadays, you need to be a social media freaking guru.
Yes.
That's the best place to promote your business
Sure.
because it's free.
Yeah.
You know, advertising is expensive, and to be able to post something like on YouTube or Instagram, and I
access to such a wide audience.
Yeah, if you know how to make content that grabs attention, that it solves their problem, it gives value, and it actually like is something that they want, you know, so content can be boring or it can be useful. Have you searched on YouTube in the past month? Exactly.
Yeah,
So you're
everyone has.
looking for something, right?
Yeah.
So if there's someone there to like give their life experience or story or whatever it is you're looking for, it's like, wow, I feel like I've made the connection with this person. Maybe they want to buy your product now. You know, for free, you've posted a video, talked about what you're doing, or maybe how to help someone in the same interests as you. So you're attracting people that are like-minded like you. So it's great. And social media is like now, you know, the algorithm, it has like a 24 to 48 hour lifespan, the content. Whereas like on YouTube, it's more evergreen, depending on how it is titled. So it's a search engine.
Yeah.
So if you're putting that much energy into your social media, you shouldn't just limit yourself to Instagram, which is not worldwide. YouTube is worldwide and it's growing, and there's still an opportunity. I mean, there's billions of hours of content uploaded every year, but no one does it like you. No one says it like you. You are the brand. You are a category of one. No one is like you. There's no, if you say I'm in this category, no, you're not. If you have a story, if you have a purpose, like a mission, you're driven by something, I think you should share that. I think that's how people connect to you, because we all want like more meaning. I think we're all looking for something, you know, a little bit more like, does this company that I purchase from, you know, does it give back? Or like, how does my purchase feel good or better? You said with this
people want to
capitalism.
invest in brands and people that are aligned with their
Yes.
values.
Yes.
Because we have that option now.
Absolutely.
And so,
yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. And I think people can connect
I know.
when they can see themselves in your story, which I'm curious. Tell me more about your story.
It's so hard to talk about yourself.
I know.
So where should I begin?
Okay. You could have done anything.
Yes, that's true.
You could have gone in any direction. And you decided that you wanted to help people build their brand, help people find their identity, help people find their voice.
Right. And because of what it's done for me.
Where is the little girl inside of you who needed to find her voice? And like, how has that shaped the way that you work?
Very loaded question. So I think it's because I want to do the path that I've gone. I feel like there's some things that I can share to help people do the same, to not be a slave to the system. Like you said, the capitalism, like you can actually make your own path. So I was working at a job that I wasn't too, you know, happy with. I just wanted to find something that was actually honestly vegan. Like, I'm vegan. I want it to align with my values. You see, the story matters. So I actually started to think, I like photography. It's something I would be willing to do for free. So that should be my work, because I'm never going to call it work. It's play. And so, you know, how do I market myself? How do I start this? So I started researching like crazy, watching other creators who've done it, seeing what they do, what the heck they even look at or talk about, or like, you know, how do I become free like them? They're traveling the world, they're taking amazing videos, doing cool things, and they look so free and happy. And I'm like, I want that. And I love creativity, always been photography. Like I've had disposable cameras, all this stuff. So yeah. So I quit this job, right? And I needed money though, and I had a new car, and I'm like, let's do Uber and Lyft to give me the time freedom that I needed to be able to take on clients, because at an old job, I would have to give a few days to a few weeks notice of a day off that I need. So how could I book a client when I need to tell them 2 weeks in advance? Right. So I needed that time freedom. That Uber and Lyft, even though it was like not the most comfortable job as a female, you're picking up strangers. So I never worked at night, but I had to do something, you know, and it was the best decision because I had a Prius, it was good on gas. And, you know, I just did like mornings where people were going to work or the airport. So I was able to supplement exactly enough until this is Uber and Lyft, and this is photography. The income started like making enough to like cover my life needs. And I started going full time within a year.
Wow.
Because I kept full power, more focus on that than anything. I kept posting online. I kept trying new things, getting creative, like really diving in. I really freaking dove in. Like, I was like, this is it. So as I started making clients, it was absolutely everything was motivating each other. So it was just crazy to me. And I never even showed my face. I just showed my work, but that doesn't work anymore. This nowadays, you can't be that mysterious photographer who just shares their work and doesn't put any captions or anything. Now we need more substance. Now we need, the algorithm actually needs more. And so do we kind of, I think. But I think the algorithm is like favoring more niche things.
Right.
So now it's interest-based media. It's not social media. It's interest-based, like Gary Vee says.
Interest-based media.
Yeah. So you're following a bunch of your friends online, but you don't see usually their stuff. You're shown the interests that you have, other random stuff and ads, and you're shown as an interest based. They're showing you what you're liking or watching the most. Even what you watch the longest, it's going to show you more like that. And it's like, it's just learning who you are, and like, it's interesting. It's kind of scary, but yeah, they probably sell that information, you know. We're getting into conspiracies now. It's probably not even a conspiracy.
So, okay.
I should ask you some questions.
Ask me a question.
Yes. So Rose, tell me, where did your love of art start and why? What's the great purpose behind your work? Do you have a goal, a mission?
Yeah. So I've always been an artist my entire life. My mom's an artist. And I grew up in a big family. We were not very well off. And I remember even back then, before social media, really before the internet was so, pervasive in our lives, I saw my mom making money doing art. And she, she struggled like a lot of us artists do, but I still was able to see her creating and making art growing up, even though we were so poor and we had like no money.
Wow.
She still kind of made a space for that and made time for that practice. And I always loved creating since I was really little. And it wasn't until just a few years ago that I kind of found the courage to really prioritize creativity. I've had just a lot of my life has felt like survival. And like we talked about, when your nervous system is dysregulated and you're focused on survival, it's hard to really access that creative energy and that creative flow.
Precisely.
And so, yeah, I have been through a lot of trauma. And what I found is that the act of creating is so healing because it helps you to access a place of power rather than like feeling powerless. And so I feel like I'm rambling a little bit here, but
no, you're fine. I'm just noticing that we have some guests. Folks, we are in a public place, in a public car, and I'm totally
outdoors.
Yes, creativity is everywhere. I think our voices are pretty isolated though, so no worries.
But
you're fine. We love it.
We're just randomly.
I also filmed right here.
Yay! Perfect. Beautiful. What do you film?
The owner of my company does YouTube, so
YouTube. We do too.
you do too.
Uh-huh.
It's for real estate, so
Amazing.
I just do like condo videos.
Awesome.
So I would sit right here because you have the cranes.
Yeah, I'm in media, like photography, video.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and we're podcasting.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. You're fine. We love it.
We kind of knew
We're leaving this in.
It's part of the deal.
I had a lady come literally with her dog. I was mid filming. She sat right here.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I just want to let you know I'm filming. You're gonna be in the video. And she's like,
That's great. Love it. It's okay. We're all friends here. The friendly city. Yeah, that's perfect. I love that. Real life. Real life. Yeah, I don't, this is real social media, right? Right here. This is what they wish to emulate, but they can't. We can't fake connection. And I think that's where like all of us are headed. We're gonna see a boom in like retreats. We're gonna see a boom in like, where people come together to like learn about something, where it's in-person events is the word. In-person events. Hey. So if you can put one of those together, maybe a live painting or something, maybe perhaps, yeah, like something like that where you paint live on YouTube, you stream it. Maybe the benefits from people giving you, like if you do live stream, you can leave tips and stuff. Maybe that portion of that could be to, or live auction for stuff. You can even do your own live auction on YouTube and just say the percentage will go to help this cause. Like if you have a greater purpose that you want to support, you can
Of course.
create your own or support something that's already doing great, and just kind of work with them and maybe somehow, I think that'll encourage and motivate someone to buy something. And maybe the topic of the painting could be somehow related to the cause. I don't know. What are the kind of things you paint?
So I paint really large abstract paintings, and it's a lot of different mediums. I like to use my hands a lot and
Ooh,
really get in
hands-on.
there.
Wow.
It's not like handprints. We're not doing that. But basically my process started when I was using traditional canvases. And when you buy a canvas at the store, it usually comes pre-primed. And so that surface is water resistant. And I wanted to layer, and I wanted to feel close. I wanted the paint and the colors to feel closer. I wanted to create more of a connection because I
Interesting.
feel like the reflection that the like shiny surface gives, it doesn't give warmth. It doesn't give softness. It gives kind of like this.
There's a barrier.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
feels like there's a barrier. And
Yeah.
so I started stretching my own canvases using raw canvas.
I've tried that.
And
I've done that. Yes. Like taking the wood from Home Depot,
yeah.
making the frame, and just buying a muslin cloth and then staple gunning it.
Yeah.
I have my own too. I love this. I love this. You're a real one.
It's
You're
really like an important part of the process because
yeah.
well,
Yeah.
and I'm getting ahead of myself here, but like art is so spiritual and there's such an energetic tie to that physical body of work.
Yeah.
And when you're standing in front of that piece, it's like there's definitely this like energy that it's a spiritual practice. And so yeah, I built my own canvases and I started, and this again just sort of evolved. I started using watercolors and kind of like throwing them at the canvas like with my hands. Because it was, so for me, my life's journey has been one of like rising out of oppression and like
Okay.
overcoming like forces that have tried to push me down and silence me and make me feel small and make me feel controlled and powerless. And like reclaiming that power and that freedom has been a big part of my own healing journey. And so through my art, I want to express that same feeling of freedom and power and creativity and flow. And so a lot of my work, not just the finished product, shows a lot of movement, but even the process of creating involves a lot of movement. And that's why I like to paint on really large canvases because I have like really long arms. I like trying to do this.
I think big
I need
paintings are
space to like
magnificent. Yeah.
spread all of that out.
I think the bigger the better. Like it's so you can get so much more detail, and you zoom in, you zoom out, it looks different. Like it looks different from 3 inches or 3 feet. You got a different energy.
And there's so
to
much
it.
to explore, so many layers.
So would you say you use a paint oil or acrylic or watercolor? Or
I do
you mix?
watercolor and then some oils. I do some acrylics, but I don't like the shiny texture that you can get with acrylics, so I'm pretty minimal on those.
Okay.
Or I like water them down, and sometimes I use gouache and pencil, pastel. I use lots of different mediums.
Beautiful.
Because I like to have a lot of texture, and I like for there to be kind of like a visual story.
Very good.
And
how do you tell it? Do you say a story next to your artwork? Do you have like a plaque wherever it's like placed, where you're like about to sell it? Like how, or do you talk to the people when they come to the gallery or event, what's the best way that you found you can share that story?
So there's a couple different kind of default ways that happens for me. I like to say sometimes I paint the painting and sometimes the painting paints me.
Bam.
And
Yes.
because sometimes I arrive to the canvas and I have kind of a vision.
Okay.
There's like a shape or like a composition that I can see in my mind, and I sort of have a direction I'm going. And there are times where that is just a beautiful flow and it evolves really naturally and freely. And it does come from this place of wanting to articulate the things that we just can't put into words.
There's a lot of, there's no words for so many things.
Yeah. And so
I agree.
Another way that this happens is, I show up to the painting and I have this idea and it is just not happening. And it's funny because I can usually tell within a couple hours. I'm like, okay, this painting does not want to be the thing I'm trying to make it be. Like, this painting wants to be something completely different. And one example I have of this is I was prepping for a show a couple of years ago, and it was all abstracts. Was like, the show is called Multitudes, and it was supposed to all be abstract paintings. And they were all abstract paintings, but we're talking like very non-representational, right? Like, no like objects that you could be like, that's the thing, right?
Just blobs.
Right. Like, just colors and forms and movement and, and it's great. And there's this one painting that I was just wrestling with. And I just I kept working it because the original idea that I had in my mind, it was just not going there. And I will never forget this. Like, I made some movements with my brush and I stepped back and I was like, oh my God, it's an eye.
Oh,
like it was a giant eye.
Wow.
And all I really needed to do was add like one little speck for like the reflection and it was done. And that painting was one of the first paintings to sell from that collection. And it sold to a mother whose daughter was deaf. And the colors in that painting and the fact that it was an eye like meant a lot to her because she relies on her sense of sight, to navigate the world.
Wow.
And I mean, like, I'm just getting chills because she walked up and she started crying when she saw the painting.
That's amazing.
And and it's just wild because I never in a million years would have been like, I think I want to paint an eye today.
Yeah, like, that just came through you.
It did. And
that was source, maybe. Yeah, that's amazing. And it was meant to find her. That's like an interesting connection there and story. And how did that make you feel when she like walked up and cried? Like, what were you thinking?
That show really changed my whole perspective on art and like what art can do. And I think I never would have said this before that show, but art is so incredibly spiritual. I had my brother had passed away recently, and
oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
I had thanks. And I had painted this giant abstract painting, just kind of like processing his death and like grieving, and like I had named it Love/Grief. But at this show, I hadn't put any of the names of the paintings on the wall. It was just the paintings and a number.
Yes.
And that particular painting, again, it's an abstract painting. Like, it's not like, a picture of a graveyard or something.
Correct. Yeah.
And so when people would walk up and they would be walking through, people would stop and they would just stare at that painting and start crying. And people would come up to me and be like, wow, what's going on with this painting? And I was like, well,
they really sensed it. And were you crying when you were painting it, or crying inside, or just feeling the feeling, obviously, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, it was sort of, painting that painting was an act of love. And it was something that I was trying to sort of capture, like the grieving process and like the beauty of love.
Yeah.
And kind of like had some like masculine feeling elements because I wanted to sort of like honor, my brother in that process.
Absolutely.
But yeah, there was this man that came up and the gallery was pretty empty. It was really just like I was there and maybe one other person was there. And I looked over and there was a man standing in front of that painting and he was just had tears streaming down his face. And I
Incredible.
kind of gave him a minute and then I said, hey, like, you know, what are you doing? Like, I'm the artist. And he's like wiping. He's like, I'm so sorry. Like, he's like, my dad just died last week. And
How?
when I saw this painting, like I couldn't stop thinking about him and like,
That's I'm so curious to what these photos or paintings look like. Sorry, I say photos because I do. Amazing. I think you know what we're gonna do is leave a comment or leave her link in the description of this video or comment of this video so you folks out there can like check her out, look at her art, and you know, I love that. That's so profound, and I feel like maybe there's some spirit moving through there.
yeah,
There,
I
you
mean,
know.
it's undeniable
Yes.
because the paintings that I pour the most of myself into are the ones inevitably that people are captivated by.
Or do you have a hard time letting go? Because whenever I've painted stuff, I can't let it go now because especially because I paint less now. Now those paintings are even more valuable because they're like the OG, like iconic things that have been hanging on my walls for years. It's like a part of my personality now. It's weird. It's like you kind of ever like have a painting that you just can't let go, or do you get super attached to them, or do you like, how does that feel?
With regard to like with painting cells and feeling that feeling of attachment, it's interesting when you brought that up, my mind immediately went to when my first child was born. Because and I have 4 children.
Oh wow.
And when my first baby was born, I remember this like it was yesterday. I remember coming home from the hospital. I was sitting in the rocking chair. I was holding him. I was looking at his face. And I'm just so madly in love with this baby. And my world has gone from black and white to full color. And I'm just mesmerized.
That's
and
amazing.
in that moment, I'm looking at him and I was like, I'm gonna have to let him go.
Oh, one day.
Like
Yeah.
one day I'm gonna have to let him
That's so
go.
amazing that you realize that immediately.
Yeah, and I was like,
Oh,
I like in that moment, like I knew how precious every single day was with him because I knew my job. If I did my job well as a mother, he's gonna leave and he's gonna, you know, go out into the world and he's gonna make his own impact.
yeah.
And so I can't tell you why that was one of the first thoughts I had as a mother, but
I see the
when I talk
connection.
about creating paintings, it's the same thing. Like there is an intended owner that I don't know. With every piece that I create, there is a home for that painting. And, you know, some of them are meant to live in my home but most of them aren't. And one of the things that I most want to do in this world is to bring beauty and joy and peace and calm into people's homes in a way that doesn't require anything of them. It doesn't ask them to be anything or to perform a certain way or to, you know, do anything. They can just rest their eyes and
That's so beautiful.
feel that, hopefully feel love from that artwork, you know?
Aw.
And so
It's like an infinite source just looking at something.
yeah, and it's just something that again, like when you have feelings or thoughts that you can't really express in words, it's like I think that art helps us feel seen in those moments. And so and the other thing I think about too is if I were to hold on to all of my paintings, like where would I find the motivation to paint more?
You're right.
It's like if I'm
You nailed it.
you know, it's like
God, you're right.
and I have to, it's an act of faith, right? Because when you create something that you really, really love, it's like, will this ever happen again? Like, will the muse be back? Or like, is this it?
So it's a constant like seeking. Yeah,
like, I need to let this go because I need to let the new thing come.
Yeah, it's a process. You have to make space to create, to allow in the new. That's very fact. It's an energetic flow. It really is. Like you filling the space with your creativity, then it kind of doesn't leave sometimes, depends what it is, but it can maybe like block out the room for more. But once you finish that project, you have like this like new sense of like, it's place to fill, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean,
And it's like a cycle. It's a beautiful one.
Yeah. And like we talk about flow all the time
Mhm.
as artists, right? And like when you think about flow, I think about water. And when water's flowing, it's clear, it's crisp, it's healthy, it's it's doing what it's supposed to do. But when water is held in one place, it becomes stagnant.
You're right.
And it becomes toxic.
You're right.
And so
keep that paint flowing.
huh?
The paint. I'm thinking of a paint. The paint is flowing. The brush is flowing. Like it's a flow. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So.
Ooh, thank you for sharing that. I feel like there was a lot of deep, juicy nuggets in there, and I think that's worth sharing. Like that's how we connect to the artists, like their stories. So yeah, hit up Rose in the links below, and leave a comment. Let us know if you're an artist out there.
I would love to know if this resonated with you, and if you can relate to wanting to hold on to your paintings, or if like me, you're like fly birdie fly.
Fly birdie fly. I love that. So do you feel like there's any area where as an artist, like you could elevate a little bit?
Part of what I struggle with, I think, as an artist and as a woman, is giving myself permission to be seen and to even believe that I have something unique to offer or something of value to offer, because I know that time is our most precious asset, and our attention, our time and our attention. And it's like, if I'm going to post something on the internet that's asking someone to give me their time and attention, what am I giving them? What am I saying that is going to add something to their life?
Correct.
And it's interesting because I really do know and feel that I add value to like the people in my life, like in this conversation and in with my family and friends. I know I feel that sense of like worth and value.
Absolutely.
But I struggle to promote myself professionally with that same confidence. And
you hit that nail right on the head. And I think people struggle with being seen, and like, because you're vulnerable. So people might judge you or tell you or control that again, because, the fear of judgment is also the fear of being seen. It's the same thing.
Right.
And to close down, it also closes down your femininity. It's connected. Wow. Femininity is the feeling of safety to be seen. Identity is, how the world sees you.
Right.
And whereas femininity and all that is like the place where you feel safe to be seen, I think.
Wow.
It's kind of connected, I've noticed, because if you are hiding your femininity, which you are naturally, you are, like, if we have to suppress any part of ourselves, we are also suppressing our femininity too, like, and our identity and our whole, like, being seen. I think it's all connected. I don't know if I just vomited those words out. Like, did that even make sense? Brands. Having a brand is also connected to, being seen, because people, like, now CEOs are becoming creators, and creators are becoming CEOs.
Wow.
So because we have to be everything in our companies, like, who owns this company? We want to know, we want to know what their values are, what their goals are, and everything. So it's the same thing, being seen. And we feel the pressure, like, to put videos out there on social media. Maybe that's not someone's, I was like,
there's a bee here.
Yeah. Maybe that's not someone's cup of tea. Maybe, but if it's not, maybe you can hire someone to do it. You don't always have to do all the work. Like, these people that are, like, doing really well in life, they don't do everything themselves. They hire someone to do it. Right. They hire the professional. When you're hiring them, you're not just hiring a person, you're hiring 10 years of experience or 20 years of experience and whatever. So, maybe building a network of people on the same mission, a community. I think community is where we can really build nowadays, if that's the goal. If you're sharing art, I think sharing the process, sharing the story, showing people the behind the scenes, maybe like how you select your paint. Why do you select these things? Where do you get your inspiration from? These little nuggets or long nuggets, videos, short form, long form. I think people want to see the process, because if I'm trying to get into the field of where you are, naturally I would research on YouTube University. How do you do this? How do you do that? Like, how do I get my foot in the door to do this thing? And that's how I became a photographer. I didn't even go to school. I just went to YouTube University.
Wow.
So just watching other creatives, do their thing, like Mr. Peter McKinnon, Maddie Hopoya, like all these beautiful female photographers as well. Like I don't know why, I just can't think of a name. Irina Rudnick. These amazing photographers out there also just making fun content. Like everything is content, right? So you would think it's stupid or boring. It's like second nature to you, but believe me, it's interesting to someone else who doesn't do what you do. So, it might seem so basic and mundane, but it's how you tell your story. It could make it so much more fun to watch. Being goofy, put your personality in there. That is the sort of stuff that like we need to share more of in the world. That's how we connect. That's how we relate. We can connect to emotions more than the topic. So if you're watching like some person go to space, that's not a great example because some people don't believe in space anymore. Let's say you're watching a person win the race, right? Win a race. Win the space, go to race.
Some people don't believe in space.
Some people don't. Yeah, it's another podcast. Honestly, that one is, man. So, let's say you're watching someone win a race. You don't yourself have a race car and race.
Yeah.
That's like
you want to know exactly how that works.
But when he did the interview and he's like, man, I was scared in that turn. Man, it was thrilling, man. And they're interviewing the guy. You're connecting to that and you feel connected to this person. You're happy with them. It's contagious. Emotion, energy, like that is contagious. So people just want to rub off on that energy and, hope that that we're all looking for pieces of things that are identity in other things. That's why we get things. That's why we buy stuff. Like, do I see myself in this thing that I bought? It's whether it be a piece of art, like you said, they see themselves in the thing. That's why they cried. So when they see themselves, when you meet them, it's the spaces in between the words is where you meet people, right? I'm like,
yeah,
my finger guns.
Yeah, I was just thinking, you just gave a perfect example, because what you just said, what you just described is exactly the sort of content that you were texting me this morning.
I did.
That probably should go online, because you're like, oh my gosh, dude, this fog, oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good.
Yes.
And like, that's what people want to know.
Yeah.
Like, that's what people want to hear.
Yeah. So
it did that. It did the thing you just said, because you just said that's contagious.
Yes.
And it rubbed off on me, and
here we are. So for context, this morning we had incredible fog, and for the last 3 mornings in a row, I've been getting up like 5:30 to get the most epic shots, whether it's photos or video. We're like flying the drone. It's been amazing because nothing ever happens here. So when it's like something cool, Florida's flat. There's no landscape. So when there's fog, it's like there's something else. It's interesting.
Yeah.
And I don't know, with like right now with like Stranger Things, I'm watching Stranger Things. I'm like trying to catch up. I'm like a season behind and all the new episodes are coming out. But like it's like reminding me of that. And I'm like, wow, this is like Stranger Things. I don't know. There wasn't really fog, but it just feels like something's gonna come out.
Yeah. No, it does. It feels very cinematic.
Yeah, cinematic is the word. And when it adds that element, wait till I show you the photos. You're gonna be like, yeah,
guys follow her for more.
Yes. All of our links below. Follow for all the work. I'll be posting soon. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. This is the best. I want to do more podcasts outside.
Gosh,
what do you guys think? Did you want to see a blank wall behind us, or do you like the trees moving? I don't know. I don't have a little muff on my mic, so sorry if the audio is a little windy. We got a little thingy for you, but yeah, we're figuring this out as we go. So
this is great.
This is episode 3. Oh my God. Wow.
You're almost there. You're almost to that golden 4th episode.
Yeah, I don't really know if I want like a same background, like a same space. Although it's like iconic. Like look at Mr. Joe Rogan's podcast, everyone knows in their mind what that looks like.
Yeah.
Because it's like the #1 podcast.
Right.
So if you look at that, like, yeah, they're consistent. So, but I kind of think that would keep me coming back for more, having like a change. I think that would be interesting. And obviously different guests. And
You want to just do it with me every time?
well, we could have 3 guests. You know, I don't have 3 mics, but we can get 3 mics. Yeah, I would do this again.
I would do it again.
Yeah, different topic, different day, different backdrop.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well,
All
thank
right.
you so much. I really enjoyed this. This is amazing. It was a great way to get to know you.
Yeah.
We actually are just getting to know each other, and then we started talking, and we're like, we should be podcasting this. I feel like
know.
there's gonna be some juicy stuff here. Man,
Yeah.
it really was. I'm very surprised, pleasantly surprised at all the stories, and there's a lot of depth and meaning behind what you do, and I think we need to share that.
Thanks.
Thank you. Namaste. I don't know how to end this. All right.